To call the meeting to order.
Maybe I did.
Misty, would you call the roll, please?
Dave Burris.
Here.
J.R. Huddleston.
Here.
Deborah Johnston.
Here.
Bill Lucan.
Here.
Larry Pratt.
Here.
Frank Romney.
Present.
Gary Telkamp.
Here.
Linda Barbell.
Here.
Thank you.
Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Remember, council, if you have a conflict of interest, please let the rest of the council know before you vote. Can I get a motion to approve an amended agenda? We're going to be adding a discussion-only item. That will be to discuss the wastewater lease agreement with Gary Romey, and that will be after the executive session. And then under personnel, we're adding personnel action P, Aiden Moore, police officer, full-time, uncertified, effective August 17, 2026 at 86% top of scale, $25.50. And right before new business, we will be adding Resolution 2026-22, and that is a resolution designating an additional depository for city funds and authorizing the establishment of a deposit account.
I make a motion to approve an amended agenda, excuse me, adding discussion only after executive session. Wastewater lease agreement with Gary Romey. Adding item P under personnel, Hayden Moore, police officer, full-time, uncertified, effective 8/17/26 at 86% top of step, $25.50. And adding before new business, resolution 2026-22, a resolution designating an additional depository for city funds and authorizing the establishment of a deposit account.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the July 20th council meeting?
I make a motion to approve the minutes from the July 20th council meeting.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. And a motion to approve the minutes from the July 28th and July 30th budget planning meetings.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from the July 28th and 30th budget planning meetings.
Second.
I think JR got it. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Can I get a motion to approve the bills in between?
I make a motion to approve the bills in between for $166,960.51.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. And a motion to approve the current claims.
Make a motion to approve the current claim, $485,423.52. Second.
Larry?
Yeah, me.
Discussion?
Nice try, Dave.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. And a motion to approve the Wells Fargo credit card claims.
Make a motion to approve the Wells Fargo credit card claims of $5,343.53.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Communications from the public. Is there anyone that'd like to address the council tonight?
Mayor, I have a request to call Zach Dixon. He would like to address the council tonight from afar. Ariel's going to dial the number. Hopefully you'll be able to hear his question. I'm not sure what he's tell you about.
He said, yeah.
Hello, this is Zach.
Hi Zach, this is Ariel with the City of Hot Springs.
How are you?
I'm doing great, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Good, we have got you on speaker here, we're ready for your communications from the public at our council meeting.
Okay, I appreciate you having me on and allowing me to speak. I'll try to make it brief. My name is Zach Dixon. I own 2 properties there in Hot Springs. They have a mid-level home parks. The one is across from the Bay Marine Suites. The other one is near the water fill station. And I had a long discussion with Wes on, I believe it was Friday, and trying to come up with some solutions. We talked about a lot of different stuff. The local economy there. Trying to clean up the town. He's had concerns about, stuff, and I guess the rest of the town about, some of these trailers looking old and dilapidated. It might seem like we're moving slow, but we are trying to clean both of the parks up. The one by the Baymont Inn and Suites is, as of this last week, fully occupied. Decent homes. Obviously, there's still a lot of work to be done as far as the exteriors and just making sure stuff looks good. The other one, we bought that out of a kind of a bad situation. It was a partnership gone bad. They'd kind of let the management slip pretty bad. We have had an absolute uphill battle with the tenants, and like I was explaining to the West, it's not just the homes that we're looking at, it's the drug use, and that's a whole nother issue. And I know it's not just a local thing to there. Like I was explaining to Wes, I was in prior in law enforcement and seen this day to day, know how this works. It's a much bigger issue than just a housing problem or whatnot. But needless to say, we're cleaning up. We have about 5 to 7 homes that we plan on tearing down out of the one park, hauling out. He was talking about how, I guess today there's a proposal to make the minimum requirement for homes that need to be 20 years or newer. And like I was explaining to Wes, that does a couple of different things. So I've seen this. We own hundreds of properties across the country, and I've seen this happen in other municipalities that pass this. And what happens is people will they say, okay, well, I can't afford a $100,000 to $120,000 home. They're not allowing anything older than 20 years, so I'll take this 1970s home and basically rebuild it from the inside out. You still got an old home. I don't think it's much better. I had proposed to Wes, maybe extending that requirement, that 20 years, to allow some, 1990s, maybe somewhere in the 90s, as long as they are in good physical condition and are not a complete eyesore. So I guess cutting to the point, that's kind of my proposal as far as that goes. Like I said, I do care about the local economy. I understand affordable housing is a huge issue there. I also understand that there's a lot of other stuff going on, and like I was explaining to him, it's been an uphill battle with us. We will spend 5 to 10, 15 grand refurbishing one of these homes, do a background check, think we're all good. Next thing you know, the tenants get strung out on drugs and they've trashed the home. So it's a continual. It's been a huge point of frustration for us. This is what we do all over the country, so we're used to it. But there is definitely a major drug use problem, and like Wes and I were talking the other day, we were brainstorming on other ways to combat not only the affordable housing but drug use and making them more viable options in the community for these people, employment and everything. But I guess my main proposal is that the 20-year is maybe examined a little closer. Again, I understand the whole issue with things being an eyesore and trying to clean up everything. I do get that, but if there's a way to extend that age requirement for homes being brought in that are in good shape, I would greatly appreciate that. Like I said, we had one moved in this last week. According to Wes, it's too old. It was kind of done, I guess, like a backdoor deal with the mover, whatever. My thing is, I'm familiar with the mover. He's planning on fixing. Well, the guy that moved it in is planning on fixing it up. It's a pitched roof home. It's going to be one more home that is somewhat affordable there in Hot Springs. And like I said, however, that doesn't meet the 20-year requirement. But like I said, it's not an eyesore. It's a good, has good bones, looks nice. And so I would just ask that be considered when you guys are looking at that.
All right, we didn't, Zach, this is Bob Nelson. We didn't mention to you when we started that public comments are limited to 5 minutes from the individual themselves, and then council is free to follow up with any questions they have. And you did a great job of being right on time with the 5 minutes. So thank you very much for that. Council, do you have any follow-up questions for Zach?
Not at this time.
I appreciate that. I missed that last part. It kind of was hard to hear.
They asked if the council had any follow-up questions for you.
Okay.
And I said not at this time for
None
myself.
for me right now.
None for me.
Just thank you, Zach, for your information and for your willingness to work with Wes.
Yes, and thank you guys for allowing me to come on here, especially via phone, and share that little bit with you guys.
Zach, my name is Larry, Ward 1 representative. Can you hear me?
Louder.
Louder? Too loud? Not enough?
Scoot it closer.
Up close and personal.
Oh boy, here we go again, people.
Same song, 40th verse.
Yes, sir. And this may sound like a silly question, but is Wes the only person that you have had contact with as far as finding out all the rudimentaries of what goes into what you're doing?
And I apologize, I can't hear what he's saying.
I'm going to walk you over there. Just hold on.
Alrighty.
Sorry.
Is Wes the only person that you've had contact with as far as finding out what you're getting into here? Anybody else in like planning and zoning or anything like that? Have you had conversations with anybody else other than Wes?
I have not, no. Wes is the only person that I've spoken to regarding this.
Okay, that's all the questions I have. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Anyone else?
Not until I have more information from Wes.
All right, one more.
Do you have any kind of timeline in mind for your improvements?
Yes, that's a great question. So again, like I told Wes and I told you guys, I know it seems like stuff moves very slowly, and it does, especially when it comes to mobile homes or mobile home parks and moving old ones out, moving new ones in. We are actually in the final process of refinancing both those parks. And as soon as that's done and finalized, we've already had the appraisal. As soon as that's done and finalized, I've already talked to the mover. We plan on taking out, I can't remember exactly. It was somewhere between 5 and 7 of those homes. And again, that's the first step. That'll be a huge benefit right there, just getting them out, the ones that are dilapidated. And then from there, if city council decides that, hey, we can work with something, a little older than 20 years, then we plan on starting to, within the next 2 to 3 months, starting to move some of those homes back in that are in much better shape and look more appealing. And like I told Wes, I really hope that we can get good tenants. In the one park by the Baymont Inn and Suites, we have a pretty good tenant base. I don't think we have any problem tenants there. We've evicted quite a few from the other park, which actually puts quite a hit on income. But the way I like to run stuff at all of our parks is I would rather have less income and less issues. And so we've taken that approach with that park there. We've evicted quite a few problem tenants. And I think the first step is getting the old homes out, cleaning up, making it look somewhat appealing, much more than it does now to the eye, and then start to bring in some homes, get good tenants, because in my experience, it's hard to get good tenants in a park that is in that type of shape. It just is. And so you kind of fight an uphill battle. So the first things first, get the old homes out, bring some cleaner looking homes in, and then typically you can infill and make it a clean park. So to answer your question, 2 to 3 months.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate all your efforts.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else? All right, that seems to be everyone. Thank you, Zach.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yep, bye-bye.
Bye.
Anyone else from the public? Come on down.
I just got here late, but I come down to find out what the ordinance it is I'm trying to
You need
We need
to
you
go
at
to
the
the
mic.
microphone.
We need you
Give
at
us
the
your
mic,
name and
please.
address, please.
State your name and address.
Martin Malinke, 1438 Evans Street, Hot Springs, South Dakota. I have a question. I got here late, so I was going to try to just bring this up at public comments or whatever, but you got this going on out here about trailers. That's what I was wanting to know about. There are a couple lots left in town that had trailers on them before, and I would like to have some clarification on what is allowed back on those lots, because there's one for sale, and I don't know who to ask.
You would ask Code Enforcement, Wesley Foss, at City Hall, and he can give you all what is on the books as of right now.
Okay.
And if you have any other questions or need to come back in front of the council, you're always welcome to. But he can give you what the ground rules on all that is.
And who is that?
Wesley Foss.
Well, I was already in Wes's office, and he got a couple different papers out, but he said there was something going on, and evidently it's what's going on right now.
Yeah.
So he truly couldn't answer the question. I was just in there, was it Thursday or Friday of last week?
And we are in the process of going through all that stuff, so that's why I said he can give you what he has on the books as of right now, but we are in the midst of changing a few things and updating some stuff that is requirements.
So go back and see Wes.
If you've already seen him and he's given you the information he's got and couldn't answer your questions, then he possibly is waiting on us to make our decisions and figure out the matters that need to be passed and check on legal.
Okay, so then can I also comment on whatever this guy here was talking about as far as this 20-year-old stuff?
This is your 5 minutes, yes.
Okay. Well, those houses there was a lot of them built real nice in the 90s. 2x6 walls, pitched roofs right out the gate. As nice as any home that's 30 years old in town now. So, and we need affordable housing, so I don't think whatever this guy's talking about, I think he's probably correct. 20 years that's a pretty dang new home, and not everybody can afford that. So just keep that into consideration, and that's my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Marty.
Thank you, Marty.
Thanks, Marty.
Anyone else? All right. We'll move on to council updates from our Hot Springs Public Library Director, Mary.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
It should go like this.
Is that better? Should be, okay.
In the
Hello.
audience here?
All right. Thank you for this opportunity to come before you guys and give you a little bit update of the library. Right now, we're running about 4,382 patrons. So some of those are brand new cards. Lots of people still coming into town and getting cards, so we appreciate that. We've had 265 cards created or renewed in the past quarter, so just for 3 months, so nice little turn there. Our circulations are averaging, we've got about 15,000 checkouts over this year. Of those, they're checking out over 22,000 titles. Lots of DVDs going in and out, lots of new books that we've been bringing in as we update our catalog system so that we can get new ones brought in. So they're going out. We just finished summer reading. It stopped Friday, and we had over 288 children participating. So they did reading logs, they did activities.
Great, great.
So they were all having fun with that. They logged over 3,905 hours of reading time. Wow. That was our children. This is the first year we've done a summer reading challenge for adults. So we had 78 adults participate, and they logged 3,428 hours read. That's just June and July, so it was a nice little turnover for that too. The adults also had 7 special events. We had arts and crafts for them, some painting, a special talk. We had Mammoth come 2 different times, once in June and once in July. So different things that adults and kids got to participate in. Special thank you to all of the local businesses. We had a huge donation from very many people. We had Changing Seasons, Evans Plunge, Lynn's Dakota Mart, Springs Lodge and Cafe, Sunny's Foods, Stay USA, Silk Road, Taco John's, Pirates Cove, Rivers Run, Winner's Circle. The list was nice and long of all the different prizes that they gave for people to participate and win a chance at. So that went over really well this year, having the adults get to do it as well as the kids. We're finishing up our weeding. Now that the kids are done reading, we can go back through the books and make sure we've taken out all the old stuff and bringing in new stuff. We just had a new shipment of books come in, so we'll get them cataloged and out on the shelves. And then we're going to take a little bit of a breather from summer reading, and then we're going to look at the kids' room and get that finally going, where we can bring in some new stuff for them to do, fix the bins, the bookshelves and stuff for them, and get it nice and updated for the kids. And that's it. Thank you.
You've been busy.
Very good job, Mary.
Yes.
Very
Thank you,
good
Mary.
job.
Thank you.
Has your computer usage, people coming in checking out per se and using the computers, is that picked up also?
Yes, the summer it always tends to go up, especially because we have kids come in. We have lots of people that are traveling through the area. They come and use our computers so they can get some Wi-Fi work done. And so our computers are busy all summer.
Good, good.
Anyone else?
I'd like to give a shout out to the 2 young ladies that are part of this program. I'm not going to mention their names, but they have put a lot of effort into what they're doing, and one of them got an award, I believe.
Yes.
If you want to talk about that.
All of the South Dakota libraries that participated in the summer reading program, which was Unearthed Story, so paleontology, we got to decorate our libraries, submit our artwork, and then South Dakota State Library chose 5 winners. Heather's work, creating a cardboard T-Rex bursting out of the wall in the kids' room, was a hit. So she actually got an award for her creativity for doing the dinosaur.
Awesome.
Did you take any pictures of that? You should put it on your Facebook page. I'd love to see it.
There are pictures. I'll make sure they get put on Facebook.
Cool.
Good job.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Anyone else? Couple questions, Mary. I rounded off some of these numbers just to remember them ideally. 15,000 checkouts, is that number up? Is that kind of what you see?
It's gone up over this year. I don't have the numbers for last year.
Okay.
But I can definitely do that next time and give you a comparison. I know in April, we had 1,600, and in May we had 1,700, but in June we had 2,700 checkouts, so it has gone up. Part of that summer reading, kids are out of school, so they get to check out more books to read, and then it'll go down a little bit.
And then the same type of question for the summer reading kids, 288, is that average number? Is that more than what you've seen in the past?
Better than what we did last year. The year before might be pretty close. We had a lot of kids that year. Last year we ran into timing-wise with the summer rec. Kids were getting pulled different directions, so we had less numbers out last year. But this year, the 288 is pretty high for us.
And then you had said that's the first year for the adult reading, and there were 78. Again, surprised at the number, expected more, maybe a little less, just trying to compare to...
Pleasantly surprised. We hoped it would do good. We've been trying to bring in programs for adults, and it's just been kind of a slow start to get adults interested in doing things. So 78 was a pretty good number for having the first year of having summer reading challenges.
Well, again, congratulations and thank you to you and your staff for everything that you do for the library. It's appreciated.
Thank you.
Oh, Mary.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mary, one other thing I forgot to mention is the other individual created the brochure of the historic buildings in town. Did you want to talk about that?
Cassie is amazing with history. She loves it. She's got her background in history. She took over the Helen McGee room and organized it really well for us. She went through and she did a pamphlet for adults to take and read, and then they could walk the town, or drive the town, and it talked about all of the different historic buildings that we had based on information she had gotten out of the Helen McGee room. Those pamphlets went. We didn't have any left. People just kept taking them so that they could read about our history.
Wow.
That's great.
Good things.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
Can I go to get a motion to go into executive session per South Dakota Codified Law 1-25-2-3 legal?
I make a motion that we adjourn to executive session in accordance with South Dakota Codified Law 1-25-2-3.
Second.
Legal.
Larry? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Yeah, I think so. All right, let's cheat to 6:54. Our next agenda item is a discussion only for the wastewater lease agreements with Gary Romy. So, Work Council, there you are. Work Council has landed, Gary. After reading the 2 new pages you gave us, there's some even additions, deletions, changes here that weren't part of the conversation you, Bill, and I had. So where they've landed is they would like to set up another meeting with you, Sharon, your attorney, be Ariel, Bill, myself, and a city attorney, and sit down in a room and arrive at an agreement that both parties are satisfied with before we leave that room. Still want to give you an opportunity if you want to address the council. If you have anything you want to say to them. But that's where the direction they would like to go at this point.
I think, as you read that, most of it's kind of terminology like you're worried about and everything. The 99 year was kind of a big deal for a lake. Like, yeah, I know you guys need guarantee on your loan and everything. I'd be more comfortable with like a 50, 60 year deal with your loan, but 99 years, I'm making policy for people who aren't even born yet. And and if there's agriculture back then, somebody's going to be wanting to irrigate, but 99 years, it's a long time. So, but yeah, we're totally happy to sit down and work this out. And like I say, I think we're pretty close on most things. We just need a little terminology changing on some of the legal matters. So, any questions?
Do you have a copy of all of those things you just gave us today?
Yes, and I would like to have a copy made for myself to go back with because our printer didn't work when I left home. So,
Okay. Can you come get the copy at City Hall tomorrow?
yes.
Yep. I'm not going to be able to make one tonight.
Yep.
All right. So that's the direction we want to go.
All right. You want to set up a meeting now, or you want to wait and talk about when you want to do this? Or?
We'll kick that around. We'll see what the availability is of our attorneys, Bill, Ariel. Check with Sharon and your attorneys, see what dates work, and we'll settle on something where everybody can get together. And as we've done in the past, we'll meet down here at the Mueller Center. It's out of the way.
Okay. Perfect. Okay.
That'll work?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for hanging on, Gary.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Gary.
All right, we'll move on to personnel actions. Going to get a motion to approve personnel actions A through P.
Make a motion to approve personnel actions A through P.
Second.
Linda. Discussion?
I have a question. You said this new police officer isn't certified, but is starting pretty high up on the scale. How come?
Well, I would disagree that he's starting pretty high on the scale. He's starting at the second step, and he's graduated with a criminal justice degree, 4-year criminal justice degree.
Okay. That makes sense. Thank you.
Yep. Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. And then we have a resolution. Can I get a motion to approve Resolution 2026-22, a resolution designating an additional depository?
Make a motion to approve Resolution 2026-22, a resolution designating an additional depository for city funds and authorizing the establishment of a deposit account.
Second. I know it's one of you, I don't know which one. Larry? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. On to new business. New business item A. It's a hearing for Melissa and Richard Niles, nuisance appeal, 341 South 14th Street, with possible future action. Can I get a motion on that one?
I make a motion to hear Melissa and Richard Niles nuisance appeal, 341 South 14th Street, possible future action.
Second.
Thank you for hanging out.
I was supposed to be playing volleyball at 6:30, so gotta get moving.
Sorry.
It's all right. I would just like to say, we do appreciate the volleyball courts at Butler Park. We play there often. So I know that it was a new thing last year, so thanks, guys. Melissa Niles, 341 South 14th Street. I know that we usually ID each other. We got a letter from the city about our nuisance vehicles, which was our 79 black pickup and then the Vega. We're appealing it because both are operable and they're licensed and insured. We don't drive them every day because according to the rules that we have on the license plates, the South Dakota license plates, they're historical plates and we're not allowed to. We have You know, the Vega, we were hog trading for something else anyway, so we got rid of that, so we just have the black pickup, which we drove this weekend, and then our blue and white truck because we had another problem with another vehicle. So we have that as our backup right now. But these are our usable vehicles, they're insured, they're licensed, and we don't know abandoned, they're not abandoned, so we're appealing this.
I'm assuming you have historical plates on there. That's what you're referring to?
Yes.
And you are correct on those rules.
They can only be driven for car shows or parades.
Yeah, we haven't.
Might use them anyway.
I say my normal everyday driving pickup would qualify for them, but I drive it every day. So I do not have historical plates on that.
See, and I don't understand why we did this. They don't have a curb in front of their house, they just park it, it's off the street. I mean, we're talking there's violations all over town. And we're doing this when it's not on the street?
If I recall, this was a concern brought by a council member. I don't recall which one of you, so I'm not gonna attempt to name, but. They all received a packet of the information. I wasn't asking them to take any action tonight, just so they could hear from you, gather their facts.
Yep,
come
I'm here
a
to answer
conclusion.
questions.
So,
We always try and have a good.
What exactly, when, I'm assuming you talked to code enforcement, is that correct?
We got a letter from code enforcement. We did not. We simply applied for the appeal.
Oh, okay.
It just said abandoned or nuisance, and they're neither.
I did notice that
I
you,
drive by your house almost every day, and I do see you have historical plates on it, and that's why I was kind of going, what's the deal here?
Yeah.
So,
Yep, and they're operable. It's not like they're broke down or flat tires or
and I've
nothing.
seen you have moved them, you know, every now and then, so yeah.
Because you live just down the street from me.
Yep. Deborah?
I know you have taken a lot of the vehicles out from around there. It seems like you have many fewer vehicles now. Your yard, it's looking really nice.
Well, we had 2 kids move off. When you got 3 drivers, teenage drivers, you got a lot of vehicles.
Yeah. But as to Craig, as, you know, you say, we don't do the ordinances anywhere else in town. Well, we are doing the ordinances all over town. We're starting somewhere. So that's not a good answer any longer.
Conversation I had with Ariel on this, and looking at the pictures, anybody that's driven by Butler Park over the years has seen the 2 vehicles there. But to refer to them as abandoned, simply because the vehicle is parked on the street for 5 years doesn't make it an abandoned vehicle. We don't have a lot of them, but we have some properties in town that don't have off-street parking. Where else are they going to park? And if they're only going, to the bank once a month or whatever, that vehicle certainly could appear to be not moving. But to call it abandoned, if you can go out and start it and move it, that's not an abandoned vehicle. I'm puzzled by it, and I think the city certainly has a weak position in enforcing this particular violation. But that's up to council to make that decision.
Did you receive a letter or anything stating what the actual violation, because I know it's right there at the stop sign.
Yeah, we've actually, when we first moved to this property in 2018, my husband was parking a little too close to the stop sign, and the police stopped in, and we fixed that, and we've made sure we know our boundaries for that stop sign. So we've never violated that one again. I've always tried to maintain a good relationship with the city. So this kind of threw us through a loop.
Because I know there's an issue just down the street where a tree's right in front of the stop sign. And you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And I'm right next to that house. And I've heard that from the neighbors. And the intersection that you're living at, that's the only thing at this point that I could see would have been I can be wrong. Can't retain everything in my head, but that's the only thing I can see. Not unless you were too close to the road or whatever the case may be.
The letter simply...
That's why I'm asking about the letter.
The letter simply said it was deemed abandoned or a nuisance. That was what the codified law he marked to.
I think there were other points about parking on the boulevard and what is the boulevard, which not having any curb or gutter there.
My goal was to
It doesn't look like there's a boulevard.
No, there is no boulevard, and it just catches water. I would love to put a layer of wood mulch down, so we don't have the grass, because mowing that, because where our yard comes down, it's a pain, but I'd love to do the wood mulch. And I know the city has it, I just haven't. I didn't know the city had it, I used to get it out of Rapids. I would love to do that again.
Well, I mean, if you looked at the GIS map from outer space, look at your property line, I would think even with that little bit of property being whatever it's supposed to be for the city, and you have to maintain that, I don't know why it still would be a problem in that manner.
Yeah, because we could park on the street.
You've got that much going all the way around Butler Park.
Yeah, because we could park on the street by the mailbox, but I don't like parking there because I don't want to block our mailman.
Right.
And that's a narrow road. And if I park on the street and our neighbor parks on the street, there's no road to go by. So I avoid parking there.
I'm really surprised this came up because if you drive down 4th Street, and I know it's the same thing, but not this, there's stuff closer to the road than your cars were, and nothing's ever been done for years. So I think we ought to vote on this.
If you guys are ready to take action, I'm not gonna stop you, but I figured some time to do your research, hear from Melissa, maybe talk to Wes.
As far as I'm concerned, I drive by that property every day and I don't see a problem with it, honestly. It's the way it fits. If you were looking at the GIS map, like I was saying, you do all that stuff right there to research on it. It's right where you got it. It's, whether.
No, and I think you've addressed this in your response, Melissa, but the two ordinances that were referenced were Chapter 13007B2, no person shall permit any property of any kind so abandoned, left, or placed for more than 48 hours. You've addressed that these are not abandoned. Chapter 9503, nuisances prohibited. B5, inoperable vehicles that are kept, parked, or stored upon any property within the city longer than 10 days. You've indicated that these are not inoperable, they are licensed, they are insured. So it doesn't sound like they meet the criteria in either case of the ordinances referenced. Am I missing something? I'm looking to...
I don't think you have.
No, I think you're right on, because what we're showing here, and I read this earlier and looked at the pictures, and I live right there. The only violation I'm seeing is actually the vehicles looking like they're abandoned, and they were not licensed, and going by those ordinances, and you're saying that they are licensed, they are insured, they are operable, then we can't hold to the citation that you received. I'm just reading this from the paper.
And I also want to point out that unlike law enforcement, Wesley would not have the ability to type in a plate and find out if it's got insurance and some of those things, and without them committing a criminal offense, neither could our police department. So if you're the public watching and you get a letter and you say, oh, my vehicle's run, please just call us, Show us, they go around the block and we'll move on.
Unless the police department stops a car, they cannot look to see if it has insurance or not.
Exactly.
Well, I would make the motion to retract the letter.
Second it.
To Melissa and Richard Niles, that nuisance letter, at 341 South 14th, but lack of proper evidence and lack of proper ordinance.
Second.
And yeah, the way I've noticed, you have it up alongside the driveway right now, so.
Did you get all that, Misty?
I got, yes, JR made a motion to retract the letter for lack of proper evidence, seconded by Romy.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Melissa.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thanks, Melissa.
Have a great evening, Melissa.
New business, item B. Can I get a motion to approve and authorize the mayor to sign the developers agreement?
Make a motion to approve and authorize the mayor to sign the developers agreement with Community Health and Development, Inc. in relation to TIF number 4, Cascade Hills subdivision.
Second.
Bill and Linda, I believe.
Me and
Gary?
I'll give it to Linda.
Oh,
You can have it, Linda.
Since you took the last one.
Discussion?
Yes, I'm going to abstain from this, being a member of the chat group committee.
All right. Austin, have the attorneys had an opportunity to view this agreement and they're giving it a thumbs up? Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. New business item C. Can I get a motion to approve a plat of Mauer, tracks 1 and 3?
I'll make a motion to approve the plat of Mauer Tracks 1 through 3, located in west half, southeast quarter, northeast quarter of Section 13, Township 7S, R5E, BHM, Fall River County, South Dakota.
Second.
Discussion?
Were there any comments from
Planning and zoning.
planning and zoning? Thank
The
you.
reason that this is actually in Fall River County, but it abuts Hot Springs on the way up Battle Mountain, on Battle Mountain Road, just after you cross the county line. It's off to the right. And so they didn't have anything against it.
This is the road that goes up Thompson, what you're saying, right? Go up Thompson, then past Mowers.
Yeah, it's the road that goes up to the top of Battle Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is Thompson, isn't it? Yeah.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Going to get a motion on new business item D, a motion to approve and authorize the mayor to sign the continuous utility rate management 17-month contract.
I make a motion to approve and authorize the mayor to sign the continuous utility rate management 17-month contract with Waterworth. Fund breakdown: water, $5,032, wastewater, $4,760, golf, $3,570.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
The motion passes. Going to get a motion on new business item E, accept the resignation of Cheryl Huddleston from the library board.
I make a motion to accept the resignation of Cheryl Huddleston from the library board.
Second.
I abstain.
Discussion?
I'd just like to thank her for years of dedicated service. She'll be missed.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. New business item F. Can I get a motion to appoint Hal Glanville to the library board?
Make a motion to appoint Hal Glanville to the library board for a 3-year term, 2026 to 2029.
Second.
Discussion?
Misty, would I abstain on this because I'm on the board or not?
Absolutely not.
Okay, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes.
I mean, I shouldn't say absolutely not, you can if you want to, but there's no reason you have to.
Our last new business, item G. Can I get a motion to recognize and record the names of the 3 suppliers and their quotes received for the purchase of 3,000 gallons of 100 low-level aviation gasoline?
Make a motion to recognize and record the names of the 3 suppliers for their quotes received for the purchase of 3,000 gallons of 100 LL aviation gasoline by the Hot Springs City Airport as required by South Dakota Codified Law 5-18C-6, purchase made with Dually Petroleum at less than 567. Other vendors considered were World Fuel, Ascent Aviation Group at $5.89, and City Services, Velcon at $5.86 per gallon.
Second.
Discussion?
It came in at 567 as a base rate. So I said in the motion at less than, but that's what it came in at, 567.
Okay. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. On to committee reports, Administrative and Finance, JR. Gary?
Admin Finance will meet August 10th here at the Mueller Center at 1 p.m. All are welcome to attend.
Thank you. Custer Fall River Regional Waste Management, Craig?
We met, well, it says here July 23rd, so it must have been. Present was Mike Lund, Les Colt, Peg Ryan, Steve, I didn't get his last name, he's new on there, he's from Buffalo Gap. Rita Reagan? Retta Reagan, thanks. From Edgemont, Dean Weekly, Fairburn, myself from Hot Springs, Vince Lowe, Oryx, and Pat from Pringle, I didn't get his last name, and Starla Russell.
Can you folks hear Craig? Thank you.
Can you folks hear Craig?
Did need to hear
I'll
that.
play Bob Nelson and move it that way. Expenses were, for the month May 1st through June 30th, was $94,762.08. Outstanding expenses and transfers was $24,615.77. Monthly sales year-to-date was $287,318.84. Monthly expenses year-to-date, $201,893.89. Monthly landfill deposits year-to-date was $283,535.34. First Interstate Bank, we got $503,908.82 and $2,964.47 yearly date interest. Black Hills Federal Credit Union got $112,553.71, got $827.65 in interest. First National Bank got $604,458.79. Got $10,382.71 year-to-date interest. Liberty National Bank, we got $160,841.99. We got $2,767.16 year-to-date, for a total of $1,381,763.31. Total of $16,941.99 interest. Enclosure, I already went through those. There we go. Monthly tonnage for solid weight garbage, $4,025, 4,025.32 ton. For rubble was 336.93 ton. That's all I got. Any questions for Greg?
Next meeting?
Oh, I might have that. Next meeting, September 3rd, 2026, 6 p.m. Mueller Center, Hot Springs, South Dakota.
Any other questions for Craig? Thank you. Historic Preservation, Deborah?
Historic Preservation will meet this Wednesday, the 5th of August, 5 p.m. at the Mueller Center.
Thank you. Parks, Recreation, and Beautification, Linda?
We will meet August 5th, Wednesday, at 1 p.m. here at the Mueller Civic Center.
Thank you. Planning and Zoning, Deborah?
Planning and Zoning will meet August 19th, 6 p.m. at City Council, or City Hall, excuse me.
Thank you. Safety, Bill, JR?
Safety Committee will meet Thursday, August 6th, 1 p.m. at the Mueller Center Conference Room.
Thank you. Public Works, Dave, Craig?
Public Works met Tuesday, July 28th, here at the Mueller Center. Call to order is 1 p.m. Those present were Craig Romey, Dave Burris, Bob Nelson, Deborah Johnston, Bill Lukens, Tracy Bastian, Sean Hale, Billy Morrow, Ariel Allison, Wesley Foss, Lily Heidebrink, Jan Lukens, and Stephanie Butcher. Public comments were limited to 5 minutes. Stephanie Butcher spoke. She lives at 608 South 5th Street, inquired about ordinances being enforced on the neighborhood of 635 Jensen Highway. Special ordinances apply with a commercialized zone abuts to a residential zone. Stephanie inquired about the timeline and completion of the screening fence and parking pavement. Permit is still open for 625 Jensen Highway. Wes is working with the property owners on property line dispute before the fence is placed. Need to have Anderson Engineering locate the pins. Old business, none. New business, discuss proposed 2026 asphalt repairs project and bid date recommended sending to the City Council for bid. Number 2, discuss a possible update of water and sewer ordinances regarding main extensions to the entire frontage of property. Committee recommends approval by council with added language on compliance with the city standards on fire hydrants and sewer manholes, etc., that go along with that. Number 3, clarify mobile home, manufactured home, trailers, etc. Definitions restrict age of moving into or within the city. Committee recommends further clarification and discussion on a tiny homes minimum square footage for residential A. We'll return to next Public Works meeting and discuss what information we received. Staff reports, code enforcement working with the various property owners on nuisance compliance. Big one is Econo Lodge needing upgrades to meet health and building codes. Our next meeting will be at 1 p.m. Tuesday, September the 1st, 2026, here at the Mueller Civic Center.
Anything you want to add, Craig?
No, he did perfect.
Council, any questions? Thank you.
I do want to say thank you, Ariel.
Library Board, Larry?
The Library Board met July 21st, 2026. Present board members were Jane Farrell, myself, Cheryl Huddleston, Mary Kay Thompson, Frank Mason, and Library Director Mary Terrones. Guest was Hal Glanville. Meeting was called to order at 6:15 by Jane Farrell. Approval of minutes, motion by Mason, second by Thompson. Communications from the public. Hal Glanville would like to join the Library Board. The librarian's report. Summer reading ends July 31st. We heard that earlier. The county budget request was submitted July the 2nd. The quarterly report to City Council is due August 3rd. We heard that tonight. Then there was a new hosted phone system. Financial report, the vouchers for the month were $1,789.99. Motion to accept by Thompson, second by Mason. In new business, Friends of the Library are willing to pay for a brick display. Custodian position is opening up August the 1st. Special City Council budget meetings will be July 28th and 30th at 5 p.m. This year's budget for street lights, parking, tactile sections on accessible ramps, and revamping of kids' room. Next year's budget includes resealing the exterior logs. Huddleston resigning from the board. Hal Glanville to accept position pending council approval. And in strategic planning, the plan development is going on right now. Next meeting will be August the 18th at 2026 at 6:15 p.m. The meeting adjourned at 7:04 by Thompson, second by Huddleston.
Any questions for Larry? Thank you. City Administrator report. Ariel, anything you want to update the council on?
I do not. Thank you.
Finance Officer report. Misty?
I had a report for you. Does not include all of July, but you have your regular financial statements in my monthly finance officer report. It only goes through the 29th. I gave you an update on the budget process and what happens next. Thank you for your time and attention to those meetings. It was probably, I don't want to call it a favorite, but one of my favorite budget meetings that we've had. I thanked Ariel at the beginning of the meetings for making it that way, the time and attention to visit with the department heads prior to coming together as a group one more time. Definitely made the process much easier, and I think that council appreciated that as well. And we got through 4 hours on the first night and just a couple hours on the second night, and so I really appreciate that. Thank you again. I gave you an update on some technology training that people in City Hall attended. It was put on by MAP, the Midwest Assistance Program, and it was about cybersecurity for water and wastewater departments. And so with the recent news coming out about all of the cyber attacks on utilities, it was timely, and so it was interesting training. I took some takeaways from it, and I look forward to more, because as technology advances, we just can't do enough to try to keep up with protecting what we have. I gave you an update on some insurance and risk management tasks that I've been working on, specifically claims filed on behalf of the city against other insurers, and claims that we filed against our own insurance. Still waiting to hear if there's coverage for the sewer backup and the closure at the plunge. It really wasn't a great financial move to close over the 4th of July weekend, but we had no choice with sewer backing up into the locker room. So we're working on identifying if there's any loss of revenue coverage through our insurer for that. And then I ended with just some reminders of the tools and resources available to council members. I think after our budget meetings, it's a good time to remind you of all those resources, because we just talk about and do so much in our planning. I think a little over $14 million is what we settled on as expenses and plans for next year. And so as we look to accomplish all of those many activities, remember that you're not alone, and that we have good resources out there to help us determine what our focuses should be and what we're allowed to do and not allowed to do. And if you have any questions on any of those or any of the stuff we discussed during budget or any of the financial reports, I'm available to answer those at any time. That's all I have. Thank you.
Any questions for Misty? Thank you. Just a couple things for you tonight, Council. Echoing what Misty said, I want to thank Misty and Ariel and the department heads and the council for the 2 nights of budget. I am willing to say that since I've been on council in 2016, that was the most pleasant budget meeting that I've been through. And that's all because you folks were respectful of everyone else's opinions and ideas about, where money should be spent and where it shouldn't. It really was, after Tuesday night, I was hoping that Thursday night would go as well, and it did. Ariel had made a prediction we'd be out of there by 7, and I think she missed it by a minute. You got out at 7:59 rather than 8:07, or
6:50.
a minute after. So thank you very much. It was enjoyable to go through. The other thing, I'd like to provide a clarification, I guess, to a guest editorial in the last week's Hot Spring Star from Suzanne Givler. I really appreciate the clarity in the editorial that Suzanne went through. And for me, the clarification is in the last paragraph. She says, "The city will soon be holding a public hearing on this project. Please come, ask questions, and help make sure the decisions we live with for the next 30 years is the right one." So I appreciate her, being involved and watching what the city is doing. But what I want to clarify is the city will soon be holding a public hearing on this project. When you say public hearing on this project, at least I'm concerned that some folks will look back to the public hearing that we had to kick off the whole wastewater treatment plant. And that's not planned. I think where she arrived at that is from an email that I sent to her on June 29th. Good afternoon, Suzanne. I want to let you know we're working towards having the wastewater treatment plant design agreement with AE2S in front of council for their July 6th or July 20th meeting. Well, that obviously didn't happen. Whichever night the agreement is on the agenda for the council's consideration, AE2S will be available to answer any questions the council may have about the agreement. You'll also have the opportunity to address the council and answer any questions they may have about the prepackaged wastewater treatment system you've already reached out to them about. If you're interested in attending the council meeting with the agreement, that the agreement will be on, keep checking the city website for the public packet for the upcoming meeting. And I just wanted to let her know that still keeping her involved, that there were several council members that want to know more about the prepackaged wastewater treatment systems. So I would ask all of you to do your due diligence, do your own research on what a prepackaged wastewater treatment system is, so that when we're ready to put the wastewater treatment agreement, wastewater lease agreement with Romies in front of you, and the agreement for AE2S, that you'll be able to ask any questions not only of AE2S, but of Suzanne about the prepackaged wastewater treatment systems. The public is certainly, as always, welcome to attend any council meetings, but there is not a scheduled public hearing on the agreement. That will be part of our normal council deliberation, council discussion. So I just wanted to clarify that for you folks and for the public. And with that, that's all I have for you, unless you have anything for me.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes.